Hey everybody, I wanted to do a quick walkthrough video on how to use the generative poster machine template. I think what I'll do first is go through this folder structure just to give you guys an idea of what's going on here. Then we can jump into After Effects and look at how to use everything. Sweet. Okay, first folder, Assets. In Assets, this is where we're going to place any images or video files that we want to have. Things to think through about this. It's probably helpful for any of the images that you want to be in the same place on your composition to be the same size. So if this image, per se, is 1320 by 1476, and this image is 443 by 523, they're going to be drastically different sizes on the composition. So that's something to keep in mind as you're working. If you want that change and shift of scale throughout the composition, that's great. But if you want them just to be different images at the same size, you'll want the images themselves to be the same size. After Effects uses scale, so it's currently like 100%, so you can just change the scale of the image within the After Effects template to change the scale of the image, but yeah, keep that in mind. The second thing to keep in mind is your title. So whatever title you have, including the extension, is what we need to put in our CSV or spreadsheet. So that's really important. It is case sensitive, so make sure you match all the capital letters and lowercase as well. Cool. Data. So data is our actual CSV spreadsheet. You can look here, a demo that I've created for you guys. It's probably easiest to just start from here and edit the actual each poster as you go along instead of trying to match and recreate. You can do it either way, but I think maybe it's just easier to kind of like start from here. So we make sure that everything is labeled and spelled correctly. Everything on this top row here are our headers, and we want to make sure we don't really change the names of these. The script, the way it sort of functions, is it finds the column and the row and sort of matches it to the appropriate layer. So if we change, the names of these or change the names of our layer that we're wanting to kind of shift across the compositions in After Effects, they will no longer be able to match up because of the way the code sort of functions. But yeah, this is kind of it. Output name is kind of what After Effects will export the poster as. We have different text elements, 1 through 6, different color elements. We can add more colors or text depending on here. We're just making sure we'll match the color name. So if we wanted a fourth color, we could do color_4 on a new column. And so far we have 2 images, but we could add more as well. So again, just matching that image_1, image_2, image_3. You'll want to open this up in any sort of spreadsheet editor that you have, maybe Google Sheets. On Mac, I like to use Numbers, it's free, but you can also use Excel if you have that as well. And then after you've updated it, don't save it as an Excel document. Instead, export it as a CSV file. You're also going to want to make sure that you don't change the name of the actual file. That's also important, so make sure you just save it as data.csv. Renders, cool. The only thing that you need to know about this is where your exports will go. So once you finalize everything in After Effects, hit render, they will go to this folder, scripts. This is where we will go to access the script to run it within After Effects. We don't really need to go into it and change anything. It should be good to go. Logs is another one you don't really need to worry about. It's more of a backend thing. We have our After Effects actual file here that we can go into, our actual template. And the last thing is this README document. So this basically gives you all of the context, anything from how to set everything up, the way the folder structure works, how to use it, even down to some troubleshooting tips if you run into things. But yeah, this is really important. I wanted to put this in here in case later on you want to use the script for another future project, whether it's school or commercial. You'd have this to kind of revisit it if you forgot how everything sort of works. And that's the general sort of way that these file structures work. It's relatively simple as long as we're careful with the way that we're managing everything. So let's jump into After Effects here. Great, cool. So I'm in After Effects. We can see I have my template composition here. This is the one that we're going to kind of use as our base or our jumping off point. So you can imagine this as kind of getting your base styling down, and then our CSV and our script will come in and change all of the colors that we want to change, the text that we want to change, the images we want to upload, all that sort of stuff. And so what we can think about is anything that we want to sort of change per poster, we can put in one of these layers. These are, we can think of them sort of like our variables in math, you know, like our X or our Y. These are the things that we want to sort of shift and change as we run our script. If we have things that we don't actually want to change, things we want to keep consistent across the board, there's two ways to do it. We can either, you know, in one of our columns, let's say we want the text one to be the same across every poster, we could actually, you know, in the first column of our spreadsheet, text one, we could just copy and paste the same text throughout. So that's one way to do it. Or we could add a completely new text box, and any layer that we add on top of this, really anywhere within the After Effects template, it doesn't matter where it is in the stack of layers. If it doesn't map to anything within the spreadsheet, it actually won't change at all. So imagine you want to place a logo, and that logo should be in the same spot, same size, same everything on every single poster. We will want to make sure we just add that in as a completely new layer. You can put that in there, and then it will automatically duplicate across the system. Yeah, so we don't really have to worry about what these text layers say, because the spreadsheet will change that. And the way these sort of work is we have just raw text layers, but then underneath it we have these effects fill, and that's how we change the color of our text. And we're doing that so we can map it to these color variables. And the way these color variables work is they are null objects. If you don't know what that means, it's basically an object that exists technically within your After Effects project, but you can't really see it. So it's really helpful for controlling things. So we're going to use them to control color. So you can see here, under effects, I have this effect called color control. And that basically just means I can select a color and I can map it to something else, and that thing will shift. So the way that this is currently working is all of our text layers are mapped to color 1. So if I change color 1's fill, you can see on the composition they're also changing. So even though I'm not changing anything about text 1 directly, it's linked to this color 1. So we can do that to anything. Any of these color variables, we can map them to other color parameters of shapes, of text layers, of whatever. If you do want to disconnect that, you can come in here to the pick whip, hold down Option or Alt on PC. If we click, you can see they've been disconnected. So that's a helpful thing. But how do we actually do the connection? You might think that we want to, you know, pick whip or connect the layers together, but that's not the right approach. What we actually want to do is find this color variable under the fill of our text, and we want to link that to the color variable of the color control of whatever color we want to select, right? So you can see if I drag my color to my color, now it's linked. I change the color variable, you can see it's linked back up with all my other text. So again, I can just, if I wanted to unlink them, I can hold down Option on the stopwatch, and you know, it disconnects that again, but we can have them all linked together there. And I would do the same thing if I wanted to, let's say, have a shape layer. So I'm going to come down here, add a new shape layer. I could draw in a rectangle. And then I'd want to add that fill effect. So now that I have the fill, I can choose another color. I could come down to my effects, and I can pick whip. And as I change the color, it also changes the color of that rectangle. Great. And then the last type of layer we have here is our image layers. And these are just placeholder images. So After Effects knows where to go in and replace. So we can kind of move those. You can see I already have like a keyframe for the first image that's rotating. When we go and run the script, you can see that rotation also applies across all of the posters that have image 1. If I don't want any of these elements, I can also just turn them off. It won't break anything in the script or anything like that. And then the last layer that we have here is just this gray solid. That's just basically our background color. It's currently routed to color 2, so you can see if I change the color here, it changes the color of the background. You can unlink that if you'd like and route it to something else, but it's generally the way the template works. So what I would do if I was starting out this project is I would basically get everything that I needed from my static poster design. So let's say I have this poster design here that I want to kind of like use for my base. So what I would do is pull out all the colors that I wanted to use, all the styling for my big type and my little type, also maybe even like figure out what I'm going to name my background image elements, and get everything sort of ready to go. Then I can jump back into After Effects and begin styling my typography. So text 1 might be my title, and so I think my font was Bricolage, Grotesque, Regular. I think I was using 300. What was it? 250 for my leading. So go back here, 250, and then my tracking was pretty tight, so I can mess around with that until I feel like it generally matches what I want. And then I could do that for all of my different types of text, and until I'm sort of generally happy with the way that everything works. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I think my second piece of text was actually also like heading size, so 300, 250, minus 30. If we go back here, we can see both of these are 2 lines, so I'd probably want to put placeholder text that's also 2 lines so I can get my spacing correct. Come down here, first, second, text 1, first, second, and then I want to place those generally where they feel nice and balanced. And then I can select all my other text, look at what font I'm using here, basically a mono 40, 48. Go down to 40, letting 48, go to 20, and I have all this text there. For the sake of time, I'm not going to move them around or anything, but we can start to see how you might start building out your general look of your composition. So let's say this was good. I had it styled exactly the way I wanted it, and I'm ready to run my script. Pretty easy. Basically, all I need to do is come into File, Scripts, Run Script File. You can navigate to that script folder within your overall project demo. And then just select this .jsx file and hit open. You can see it doing all those things in the background. It's made us 6 new compositions, added everything to the render queue, ready to export, and chosen my correct output location. If I hit render, it'll automatically export all of those video files for you. But we can also, because everything's editable, look at what we sort of made. So all of these compositions are completely editable, and completely fine to go back into and check out and move things around, which is really exciting. It's like generative, but it's still manipulatable. And yeah, I think there's definitely some tweaks when we look at this and this that we need to make, but as a starting point, I think it gets us really close. So what I would kind of game plan this like is I would get it as close as possible with my initial template. I think for a lot of systems, you'll be able to actually get it perfectly. You can just run it, hit export, and you're good to go. I think for some more in-depth systems, you might need to go in and make some manual tweaks, but this will at least get you most of the way there. What I would avoid doing is just running the script over and over again, because what will happen is you'll end up with so many different templates, and it'll be hard to organize your file. So if you just hit undo, Command Z, you can go back and it'll undo all of those new compositions it made. We can make tweaks to whatever we want, and then go back through and run the script again. So we can think about running the script as like kind of our final thing that we can do. We don't want to like kind of run it and then like leave all those compositions and then run it again. But this is a general look at how to use the script, how to approach the poster machine project. If you have any questions, just let me know.